same shirt. We've all seen it. All right? Wear something different. But look, wear something... You know what it is, man? I don't think I like the camera angle anymore, okay? And I don't know if it's just because the way that the headphones are, you know, it's too high. I'm over it, man. You know what? I'm mad! Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Full Circus. My name is Tristan Sartoris. Happy to be here with you guys today. So let me cut straight to the chase and the brass tacks and, you know, the meat and potatoes and the point, and you know there's a lot of stuff in the middle here, and that's where I'm trying to get to. So let's just jump on in with all of that. I'm wearing a new shirt, okay? Now, a lot of you who also don't watch the video version of this podcast are like, here he goes again. Oh God, he's going to describe something in the room or what he's wearing or how his hair looks. I get it. I know that's what you're going through, but I can't see it. So I'm not going to describe what it looks like, but I'm going to tell you what it is. All right. And if you are watching, it looks good, doesn't it? I'm wearing a Vincent Van Gogh shirt. Okay. Whoa! And the whole crowd gasps and they get taken aback and they, Van Gogh. Okay. The Vincent variety. Tristan, this is high class. That's art. That's freaking something, you know, one of those words that you have to like hawk something up at the end of it. That's a fancy word. And yeah, you know what? It is. Okay. And it's a fancy shirt in my books. Most people that they see me out and about, they go, whoa, he's rocking things that he knows. He wants to express himself and his creative interests, like Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry and Scooby-Doo and other cartoons that are for children. He likes those things. Or maybe the Browns or Ohio State, you know, or other failing football teams aside, like with fashion, right? And this is my opinion. I don't know if it's 100% true, but you know what? There's no one here to contradict me. So I'm going to say this is 1000% fact. Fashion is the form of expressing yourself and your interests and your desires and the things that you like, right? And that's why I wear kind of zany clothes. And people come up to you and they ask you about your zany clothes. And they go, oh, your cartoons, Hanna-Barbera, Warner Bros. This is fun. This is exciting. We don't usually see adult men wear these, right? And, you know, and people talk to you about it and you get to talk about these things that you like. So what I was thinking is that I was going to step outside of the comfort zone, okay, and into a new comfort zone, if you will. So anyways, I saw this shirt, right, and it said Vincent Van Gogh, and there's stuff on the back as well, but I don't want to turn all the way around. That's like theater direction 101. Never turn your back to the audience. I don't know if it's vulnerability or just because they can't see your face, but if I really do like a lat spread, it might be cool. But anyways, physical posing aside, I saw this shirt, and it was $8, and I thought that's a nice color, but I don't know anything about Vincent Van Gogh, and I'm realizing that this is a new direction I'm going to take. Instead of wearing stuff that I know stuff about, okay, wearing things that I'm interested in, I'm very familiar with, I'm going to choose to take the chance to step outside of the box and into a new closet and wear something that's completely fresh, because it may draw that same kind of attraction. People go, oh, you're into this and that, and I go, no, but you are. The fact that you came up and wanted to ask me about it tells me you know something, so I will learn new things by wearing stuff I'm not familiar with at all. And I challenge you to do the same. So yes, I'm wearing a Vincent Van Gogh shirt. I don't know much about Vincent Van Gogh, or at least I didn't before I stuck my head through it, right? I knew absolutely nothing. But what do I know now? A little bit, okay? I looked it up just on I wanted to know a little bit in the defensive stance, because I know that one of my brothers will go, what the frick do you know about that? I say, hey, check this out. So I learned a couple things, right? Obviously, we all know the ear thing. I learned that he only painted for like 9 years. He started right before he was 30, and then he died right before he turned 40, actually. And that was a gunshot wound to himself. And then he shot himself in the chest, and he died 2 days later. And that's kind of like physical persistence and, you know, resistance and, you know, other words that mean keep going. Although he did to himself, so I don't know how you know, the willpower. But it doesn't matter, all right? I respected that fact. I identified in a lot of different ways and related to him that he was misunderstood, okay? He was very avant-garde, right? Not appreciated in his own time. And I don't feel appreciated in my own time. I don't feel appreciated in your time or Eastern Standard Time or any of the times, right? But you know what? I feel a little avant-garde. And also, I didn't know what avant-garde meant before I put this shirt on. So let's just say the knowledge is like a washcloth of information just being put over my face in the sauna of truth. So I don't know where the stupid analogies come from. I don't know why they show up when I just start opening my mouth, and it's just like a weird word scramble, okay? It's like a vocabulary Jenga, and I'm just taking out things and putting them where I want them. And that's an ability that I was granted and gifted by God to use, and I don't know how that's useful to him quite yet. Like maybe it was for his own amusement. I don't know if that's supposed to attract people to the Lord's will, that maybe somehow he's just up in heaven. He's like, yeah, just keep using some puns. They're going to love that. This is going to get the people going, man. They're rising. Or it's just for his own amusement. He's like, watch this. He's going to do a whole freaking washcloth thing here. So anyways, yeah, I've learned a little bit, and I'm pretty stoked about it. Also, I learned that the whole ear thing, like that's the one thing I did know, is that he cut that off because he was in an argument with a guy named Paul Gauguin, who inspired Picasso. Side note. All right, that's for a different shirt I need to get. But he cut off because they were arguing about which direction the new modern art was supposed to go. And they're like, no, we should do my style. They're like, no, we should do my style. And he got so mad that he cut his own ear. And it's kind of just crazy. You know how much of a baller you got to be to be like, dude, shut up, or I'm not going to hear it anymore. That's crazy. So anyways, I'm a fan, dude. I'm a fan of Van Gogh, and I Vincent Van Gogh hard in the paint now about it. So props to you, VVG. Hope you're doing well up in heaven. I hope he's appreciating hearing everything we're saying about him in his one good ear. So anyways, new clothes aside, by the way, I'm wearing green shorts as well. It's kind of like I'm wearing a romper, another word that I just learned. So I'm kind of a new person, right? Clothes don't make the man necessarily, but they do inform his speech, all right? So I'm feeling good, and I challenge you guys to wear something new, all right? Find something interesting, weird, wacky, zany, creative, different, right? What are you wearing right now? Look down at yourself. Are you embarrassed? How many times have you been wearing that same shirt? We've all seen it, all right? Wear something different. But look, wear something that's new. That's, at least graphic tees, I guess, might be the only places applicable. But you know what? Points are meant to be sharp, okay? So hopefully you've been poked by it. I don't know. Listen, guys, here's what I've been up to. I've been training. I've mentioned this about 10,000 times, so there's no shame in doing it for a 10,001st time. I'm training for this Spartan race and this warrior thing, and it's a long marathon, and there's lots of obstacles, and obviously I had months leading up to this. I knew it was happening, and I was supposed to be really giving it my all. I haven't. And it's been about, a week? Okay, so I'm actually the worst spot I've been in. I hit my heaviest weight, I hit my least amount of pull-ups, and I hit my least distance ever. So in the terms of months to training, you want to be a Spartan, you want to be a warrior, go out and do it. I toppled, okay, right? Like a freaking dreidel. I'm not Jewish, I don't know if I'm allowed to use it, but like a Beyblade. I was in the arena and I was doing well, and then this new Beyblade, another spinner, right? They came around and it bumped me, knocked me off my pedestal, and I just fell apart. So anyways, the last 2 days, I've been training hard. I don't know how many days you really need to train for something called a Spartan race, but I assume it's more than that. But regardless, the past 2 days and the days going forward, I will be giving it my all. Ironically, they do say the last week training up to, you should really taper off and not train a lot. But I you know what? All right, if you're gonna wear a Vincent Van Gogh shirt, you gotta be bold. All right, right? He cuts off his own ear. I'm gonna train hard. There's got to be some parallel. I'm not seeing it yet, though. Help me, Vincent. So listen, I've been training hard for this thing for the past 48 hours, and a new training regimen that I just implemented was sandbag workout. Sandbagging? That sounds dirty. Sand. I've been carrying sand. So I got this 120-pound bag of sand. Well, really, it was just a duffel bag, and I filled it with sand, okay? I was hoping it would come with the sand. It didn't. So I got this thing, And I found like some little sample workouts. So basically you pick up this thing like it's just a dead human. It's more of like a wrestling, like you need to be able to control body weight. Although it's only 110, 120 pounds. It's not like a full-grown male, but more like a heavy child. And I pick it up and I throw it over my shoulder. All right, and then I get back down and I pick it up and I throw it over my other shoulder. And I do that 10 times, okay? 10 times I throw this limp human being into the air. And it's exhausting, it's heavy, and then you do some push-ups. And then you put it back on your shoulders, you do some lunges. And then I put it back on my shoulders and I walk half a mile out, half a mile back. And it is exhausting, and I do that. That's one big circuit. I do that 3 times, okay? In case you're like, well, I want to look like him. I don't know if this is going to pay dividends. I've only done it twice, and it's exhausting both times these past 2 days. But you know what? It's so tiring, and it's so you're so sore, and you get all these looks as people because you're doing it outside. And I like to work out inside. I don't like to do it, especially in the suburbs. Okay, in a neighborhood on your front lawn, where I'm walking down the street with this duffel bag that people are like, is he moving out? Is he luggage? What's this? Like the kids who have just like the handkerchief on a stick to the train tracks. I'm carrying this thing and I'm weighing it down, and they're like, wow, what is materialism? It's a tough go, isn't it? Like it's not. I'm not, these aren't my goods. It's sand. I'm carrying sand. And they go, huh? Why? And I go back and forth and they look back and they go, why still? And I'm like, I don't know. Why am I running this race? And why am I training the way that I am for it? I don't have my why yet. And it's especially hard when you catch a glimpse of yourself in the car reflection. You're like, I can't wait for oh, yeah, you and me, we both don't know why we're doing it. But you know what? Much like Van Gogh, I am going to persist for another week. He did it for 2 days. But you know what? I'm going to persist and stay resilient in the face of pain and danger. And you know what? It sucks in the moment, and it does suck after. Yeah, you're waiting for some sort of positive silver lining. Oh, yeah, there's a dopamine rush that happens. No, dude. You know what? Whatever kind of chemical balance and rush that happens with serotonin or other Sarah's tanning, whatever's up here, okay? It's overshadowed. I go, that was success. Ow. Nothing about this is inspiring me to do it again. So... But you know what? You gotta, right? If I'm going to not completely embarrass myself, I'm going to try my best. But, you know, it was just difficult. And I have a lot of excuses. I'm going to share them here. I just, work got busy and life got hectic, much like it always does. And I got off the exit ramp quick, right? As soon as, like, traffic, like, there was more cars handing up on my freaking mental freeway, I hit the exit. And I was like, you know, like, let's just avoid all of it together. And then there's just the knee pain. It was hard. And I went on a long run recently, too. I'm just trying to make sure I can do the 14 miles straight. I haven't been able to do it without pain. I haven't even gone the distance, but I did like 7. And very painful again. Next morning, very sore. I'm not feeling great. And that's on top of all this sandbag. So I'm spending most of my time outside just running from my problems, but also to my problems. It's weird. There's no escape for me for this next week, and I hope you guys wish me the best of luck going forward. I will. Well, actually, no. The next episode won't have my results, but the one after that, I will debrief you guys. Which that sounds super dirty too. Hey, you gotta debrief that guy. Ew, sicko. Keep your briefs on, man. All right, Jack. You creep. So I'm going to brief you guys. All right, let's just make sure there's pants on everybody, and then we'll see whether we survived or not. Right? It is nice though. It's nice working outside, in the sense that I feel like, look at that. Like I feel like I got a nice golden tan going. Okay, yeah. It contrasted well with my Vincent Van Gogh shirt. I might as well be working commission. I can't wait till I get another artist. But after more people come up to me, if you know anything about Van Gogh, again, like go it's like, hey, it's BVG, you know, Van Gogh. I'm like, yeah, dude, well, tell me something about him. I know. Let's both know. Let's converse. Every time you come up to me, drop a new fact, new detail, and I'll be interested about it. But anyways, I've got this golden tan going. In fact, a black lady recently told me that I look tan. Okay, and I don't know if that's wrong. I want to stop doing that. I noticed that I always mention someone's ethnicity or the color of their skin or anything in a story. And it's not always applicable. And you go, we didn't need to know he was Korean. We didn't need to know that he was Hispanic. We didn't need to know she was black. And I never do that for white people. And I don't know why I do that. And I feel bad because it's not really applicable to most of these stories. But you know what? This one it is. Because, look, let's not act like any skin color is better than the other or more superior. But, look, in the race for melanin, all right? Black people win, all right? That's just, they got the most of it. It's just, it's known as golden brown and full of color. Full of anything is always good, right? And no shame to the blonde, pale people of the world, but the level's depleted, right? There's a reason why in bodybuilding, they kind of do the whole, it's not necessarily black face, but like black body. Because the way that the skin color and the goldenness and it's caramelized, which is also another term in freaking cuisine, when something gets better, all right? When you do that, definition and everything just looks better when it's got more color. That's the reason people go tan. That's the reason there's tanning beds. There's no pale beds, okay? People don't hop into a freaking little time machine and just hope like, oh, I hope I get paler after this. Nobody does that, all right? We're all trying to get darker and more color. It's the way that it is. Beauty standards, so no offense. I don't know if that's wrong or what. The point is, she told me I was tan. And I thought that was a compliment, and that's why it matters that she was black, because it was somebody with the high standard, right, that looked good, that had all the definition and all the freaking melanin. Am I saying it right? They had all of it. They told me, hey, you got some too. I went, yes, dude, yes. And it shouldn't be a compliment, really, because pale people, like, there's no offense. But also, she told me it in a very complimentary way, in the point that's saying, hey, you look darker, that means that's good. That's better. So maybe she was racist? I don't know. I'm questioning everything now. But you know what? Point is, I've got color, and I've got a race to run, and if there's going to be photos taken, I better be looking my best. So anyways, guys, that's what I've been up to. Just a lot of new changes, right? New attire, new workout routines, new skin color. I mean, I'm a new person, like through and through. I did lose my little clippers, and I need to shave because it's an itchy. But you know what? It's an itchy. Hey, guys, what's going on with your face? I don't know, man, but it's an itchy. It's an itchy. An itchy what? It's an itchy one. It's an itchy beard. It's just an itchy. It's just under the umbrella of irritation. So anyways, what's going on in the world, man? We've talked about me. What's going on in the world? You want to get to it? You guys want to get freaking to it? Huh? You looking to it? And you want to jump to it in the brass tacks and chases and points and potatoes and meat? They get the meat to the potatoes, but sometimes the dessert is the real point of it, right? If you're like, I want to get to the real heart of this meal, it's in the Oreo cheesecake that you have afterwards. So anyways, I saw online recently that somebody's texting me, and I have everything. I'm sure you can hear that. Everything is kind of synced up between all my Apple devices, and it's convenient when I don't have to pick up my phone and answer anything. But when multiple people start ringing, it's like, ging, ging, and it's so loud because I need to hear myself in the podcast. It's like the Liberty Bell. I don't know if they've rung it in a while, but if they did, that's what it would sound like. So anyways, I saw online that Kirsten Dunst, the actress who played Mary Jane in the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, she came out and she was talking about how unfair it was that she was paid less than Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man. Now, one, I understand that there's a wage gap, and it's way above my head, and I'm not really going to comment on that as a whole. But what I will say is that when I referred to the movies just a second ago, I said the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. I didn't say the Mary Jane, Kirsten Dunst Spider-Man movies or the Mary Jane movies. Like the titular character. The titular character? That sounds dirty as well. It's the main guy, right? And look, he's the main guy. So naturally, when you're the quarterback of the team, he's also the screen time, the difference, the amount of days you were on, like the work it's a much bigger load because he had to not only play Peter Parker, but also Spider-Man. So naturally, I assumed from the beginning, without her ever mentioning it, also 22 years later, it's a bit late to tweet that out, but 22 years later to be like, hey, he got paid more than me. This is messed up. This is wrong. And I go, oh, there are real cases where people are being paid less. Don't try and dilute the situation by saying, look, this is the very rare case where he got paid more than me. I was like, but you weren't part of the bigger picture. I mean, she was, but like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? Okay? I feel like it's just not a good argument for, because I know that this is a real case. I know, and I don't mean to get political. Is it political? I don't even mean to be economical. That women can get paid less. And I don't know have all the stats and the facts in front of me, but when I see the instances where people do bring up, you're like, but this is going to make the whole thing seem like a joke if you do stuff like that. It's kind of like the WNBA, and I don't want to crap on the WNBA at all right? But I have to make a point. There's a lot of people who complain about the wages and the contracts that are for the WNBA players. And they go, oh, the highest paid woman here, she's making, I don't know, okay, of X millions of dollars. And they go, she's the best player in the league. How come she's not making as much as the best player in the NBA, right? And you go, what is the deal? Because we got the best versus your best. Now, yes, it makes sense in a perfect world, but you're like, why do you make more? Because the NBA makes X amount, like he makes 20 times more than her, but the NBA as a whole makes 20 times more than the WNBA. And that's not through any other factor than the fact that people watch the NBA, all right? Like, people care about the NBA. No offense to the WNBA. I don't even really like basketball to begin with, so I'm not going to watch the WNBA either. Like, if I'm going to watch basketball, I'm going to watch it. This is all bad. But look, it's like, if you're going to complain about it, start pumping money into the WNBA. Buy all the merch and the jerseys and the sales and the bobbleheads and the freaking, diss tracks or CDs. A lot of athletes get into music for some reason as their career kind of tapers down. They're like, I'm going to start making rap or something like that. If they start doing that, buy those too. Pump money into it. And then once the revenue equals, then it becomes that. But anyways, that's kind of like the similar situation where I'm always fascinated to take the worst example and be like, see, women, they're being treated. It's like, no, don't make this, like, I don't pay attention to this stuff at all. And these are the front page headlines that I see. So other people like me that are not in charge, but people that are looking at this stuff and kind of just observing and taking it in, they go, oh, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think you guys have a point. No, there is a point to be made, but go find the actual. You got to dig. You got to go look for that stuff. So that is not the one. So anyways, thought that was interesting. And look, pay frickin' women. That was a good moral, right? That's a good. If I was running for president, I would just freaking, hey, did any of this make sense? Pay the women. Yeah. He did it. Fist pump. So, you know what? I know how to rile the crowd up and good. And anyways, they pay the women. All the women, they're going to be paid. You know what was interesting? I posted that clip of me doing a Trump impression. I was making fun of his hand gestures. That's anything but starvation. All those things that I said are so good. It's short, long. And I was making fun of his hand gestures, and I got multiple comments from people going, oh, screw you, man. You're part of the problem, okay? Freaking, you're a Republican, a racist, and you hate everybody, and you're just trying to, you a Trump-loving son of... I'm like, what about me going, look at this idiot over here, made people say, hey, you love this guy. You support him. Never in my life have I made fun of somebody, and people go, oh, you're on their team? Huh? So effectively, I'm always worried about coming off racist or misogynistic or anything that I keep accidentally talking about, but I'm just trying to speak my mind, okay? And granted, it's all off the cuff. I don't have time to really process and think about it, but I'm so worried about coming off rude or mean, and I try my best to really make sure everything I say sounds sincere and genuine, which I know may or may not be that sincere or genuine to try and make it sound that. But you know what? I try my best to sound like I care about people, because I do, because I care about people. So hopefully, I guess by that same logic, every time I accidentally steer the freaking ship to the ditch, people go, oh, he's making fun of women. He loves women. Oh, he's making fun of black people. He loves black people. I didn't, though. Okay, I'll make that very clear. He's making fun of white and pale people. He loves them. That's how I have to assume it's coming across, but I just don't know. And either that's the truth or they're crazy. So what's the meaning of anything here, man? I just don't know. On to hockey, dude. Speaking of sports and WNBA, dude, the NBA playoffs are going on and the NHL playoffs are going on. I'm not a big hockey guy. Now, I love all sports, okay? Like, I don't watch a lot of the NBA just because there's so many games, and it's the same with hockey. It's the same with baseball. I love all sports, okay? And I'll play them all, and if there's nothing on, I'll watch all of them, right? Even the WNBA. And I know that saying even makes it sound like it's the worst thing, but it's not, okay? So go out there and pay the women. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyways, the NHL is going off. I'm not a big hockey guy, but I pay attention, and I look around, and I understand sports, and I'm watching some hockey games recently, and I just have to say, all right, now again, this is coming from a sport. I live and die by sports. I know it looks like I'm just like an art nerd or something like that, but trust me, this is all a facade. I didn't know anything about VVG until 20 minutes ago, but I love sports. I love all sports, and I'm watching hockey, and I don't watch it that often, but when I get a chance to, I'm like, this just might be the most unathletic sport of all time, okay? Now, whoa, you going to say that during the NHL playoffs? At the height of the freaking sports peak, when people pay attention, when numbers be rising, when people are on the lookout to listen for articles and news headlines? Yeah, but hopefully by me saying that, people go, whoa, does he mean hockey was the most athletic sport of all? No, I don't, okay? And I'm going to be very clear about that. Watching it, it's not the most exciting thing. And I'll watch it for a little bit, right? I just think of all the sports, it has the least, okay? And in terms of, like, athleticism, it just looks so sloppy, dude. Like, hockey, again, pretty fun. But I'm saying this as someone who loves sports. I'm going to come at it at the end of this with some ways to improve it. But hockey is like the ultimate sibling sport. Like, you look at it, and it looks like everybody is like an older or younger brother. Like, hey, he's driving down, he's got the puck, and someone goes, and he just whacks their stick. Mess it up, right? They just shove it. Oh, man. And that's what the whole thing is for 3 hours, back and forth. Oh, I've got the puck. Just kidding. Oh, I've got, just kidding. Because there's only like 4 scores. 4 scores, like, people very rarely score a point because the whole time they just shove their sticks everywhere. Like, it's such a sloppy, we're crashing into the walls. They go as fast as they can, and most of the time they drive. Somebody shoves their stick into it. The puck goes into the corner, and they go around the bend, and they go all the way back. Yeah, it's just circles the whole time, and it's still fun to watch. But I just wish there were more scoring opportunities. Or I know there are, but also the freaking goalie. At least in soccer, it's like you got a wide net, and they got to cover a big lateral area very quickly and very effectively. In hockey, nets like this big, and they're decked out in pads. So anytime someone comes at them, they just go, and they just kind of sit down, and the puck hits them, bounces off. They go, not this time. Like, it's so difficult to score, and people use that as an excuse to be like, well, that's the reason it's so exciting, because when it happens, it's such a rare. I don't want exciting moments to be rare. I get the whole philosophy, the idea of if it happens a bunch, then it dilutes the point. Kind of like what I was talking about with if there's so many games, it's not as exciting as football when there's only 17 of them. But in terms of a viewing experience, like 3 hours, and very rarely I get to go, whoa! There's not a lot of that going on. So ways to improve that: either make the net bigger or get rid of the goalie and make the net super small, and they have to shoot it. Like, dude, how cool would that be? All right, then maybe they could figure it out. Maybe they can't. It's also still going to be sloppy, but hockey has some things going for it. I think it's silly. I think it's fun to watch. I like the fights, even though they grab a shoulder and they just go punch out until someone falls down. It's like the Russian slapping game people are doing. But there's definitely some ways to improvement. I like power plays. It's kind of like a superpower. When someone goes into the penalty box, it becomes 5-on-4, and they're like, whoa, he's charged up. There's so many less players. But it never really yields anything. But yeah, hockey, it could definitely improve in some ways. It just needs more exciting moments. All right. The idea of like, it's so rare. What if it happens? People say the same thing about soccer too. What if they might not score at all? Isn't that no? All right, football, right? Even they don't have to score a touchdown, but even just a nice first down, you go, that was athletic. That was amazing. Basketball, back and forth, lots of points. Okay, could have diluted for sure, but there's windmills and even if a layup or a 3-point and a half shot, so many moves. There's way more. Whoa! Oh my! How did he? Where did he? When did he? This is crazy. I can't do this. You know when I watch hockey, I go like this. I could shove a stick in front of somebody. I could mess somebody up. I could sit down in the net. You know, it just doesn't yield a lot of wow factor. Whether or not it's hard, whether or not it's really difficult to play, regardless, that has nothing to do with it. But when we watch professional sports, we look at them and we go, I can't do that. That's impressive. We see that in football. We see that in the NBA. We see that in baseball. You track a freaking 100-mile-an-hour pitch and you crank that over the stands. We go, dang, that's impressive. In baseball, games are very long for sure, and there's also less scoring things that happen, but there's still plays. You hit a nice shot. Boom, nice pitch. You see anything, and I don't really watch a lot of baseball because I think it's closer to hockey in that regard, but at least you can get a play that isn't scoring. There is something happening there, and like there's a check. Okay, you could check somebody in the wall. There's a fight. There's a couple passes, but hockey just needs more. And it's not the most athletic sport, and we know this. And why do we know this? Because the league's 98% white people, okay? Now, I'm dissing the white people. Hopefully people will go, this means he really likes them. But you know what? No offense to white people, okay? I think white people can be good as black people in athletics, but they're going to have to work way harder, right? We've seen some of them, some genetic freaks, and some people that, really figured it out. But more often than not, if you're not white, you don't have to be black, but if you're not white, you're going to run faster, you're going to jump higher, you're going to be more fast twitch, you're going to have it figured it out. Like, you're just going to be better, okay? So the fact that there's barely any color, okay, in the sport of hockey, could you imagine? Like, what that hockey needs is a Jackie Robinson. They need LeBron James. They need Tyreek Hill. Like, but even when you think about that, you go, could you imagine if LeBron James decided to play hockey instead? You don't even go, that would be crazy, because there's not much more that a 6'7", 240-pound individual could do. Tyreek Hill, a shifty, quick person, you go put there on ice. It doesn't really matter. It's kind of just the white man's perfect game, because there's not a lot of athleticism. Trash the sport completely. Let's go. And I like hockey too, okay? And I like all sports, but I'm just saying, from a athletic standpoint, it's not the most athletic. It's not the most exciting. Okay, I'm going to put it probably in fourth. It's not part of the big three, but it's better than polo. It's better than swimming, which I've also trashed. And I think I've mentioned that here on the podcast. But just in terms of sports, like if you're going to pick one, at least choose one that like works on hand-eye coordination, right? Someone's like, hey, you want to see me throw this into the trash can? They go, that was cool. You hand-eye. It was so well coordinated. That was athletic. And someone's like, whoa, see that bathtub? I'm going to freaking, no one cares? Okay. Point is, it's hockey season. Hockey, there's ways to improve. Go watch hockey. Okay, go watch the NBA. Go watch the WNBA. But I think maybe that's part of it. Never mind, I'm not even going to get into it. But in terms of sports, you need to have more wow factor. You need more athletic plays. There needs to be something in hockey. If the net was smaller and there was no goalie and someone hit a precise shot, okay, sweet precision, accuracy, we go, I couldn't do that, okay? But when they get all sloppy and they get into fights, we go, I could get upset and annoyed and take my gloves off and my helmet and try to punch the guy. Yeah, of course I could do that. I could skate on. I could sit. You need more wow factors, and that's what hockey is missing. And that is my essay on why hockey is not part of the big three and why they're not selling tickets and revenue. So, I mean, they are, but if you want to really bring the nation together and you want to, like, people, what sparked a lot of this, too, is, one, that I was watching, but two, I saw people going, why isn't hockey as big as the big three? Why isn't it part of the main thing? Why don't people... That's why. You need more excitement. You need more power plays. Not the actual power plays, but you need, something that's athletic and impressive. And, once you figure that out, when you figure out the point when having more athletic people, okay, people that aren't white, enter the sport, and they'll be able to change it and make it even better, that's when we'll know it's very athletic, it's impressive, it's a display, it's art. And that's when it'll become part of that. And that's what you guys need. Now, I don't know how to solve it for the WNBA, okay? I don't honestly, I don't know what you could do, because people are like, well, I could watch the WNBA or the NBA, because then it's just like, I don't know why you would watch the WNBA, because I think the NBA, and I don't know for sure, okay, they're a little bit better athletically, that you'd be like, well, why would I want to watch the minor league version? So if you're watching it, you're like, oh, this is just cool. It's kind of niche. But I'm certain that there are WNBA players that are good enough or better than some NBA players. That has to be sure. So maybe you just let them. I don't know. Okay, I can't figure it out. I already solved hockey. Don't ask me to solve the world's problems. That went right down my throat. I think I'm drowning. So speaking of drowning, segues. Dude, I'm out of control. It's this new person that I am with all this tan and facial hair and artistic attire. I'm just different these days. Yeah, man, we went to the lake the other day, and my brother just fixed the jet ski. Okay, they got a jet ski, fixed it, broken. It's a whole long story. Point is, there was a jet ski. I had never been on a jet ski, and it was idle wake zone, okay, which meant no speeding. However, your boy didn't know that. So they said, Tristan, hop on the jet ski, take it for a spin, just ride it. And I go, okay, well, obviously, let's see how this thing goes. So I put the throttle down, and I go as fast as humanly possible, to the point where I'm like raising up, like I'm almost walking on water. The point where Jesus saw the jet ski, and he's like, I should have done that. I was flying, dude, through an idle wake zone that I didn't know about. And I ride for probably about 10 minutes back and forth. Whoa, this is insane. I come back up to the shore, and there's a cop car rolling out. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Oh, my gosh. He starts pulling back, and I'm like, I'm on the water. He's not going to catch me. I do genuinely think about turning around and not getting caught, but the good Samaritan in me, I guess. I don't know. This was before the attire. Like, I don't know. Me now, I might have, but me then, I was wearing my Tom and Jerry shirt. And I pulled right into shore, and he's like, hey, by the way, do you have your jet ski license? And also, you can't do that here. And where's the registration? And where's your distress signal? And I go, what? Hey, huh? Who? They just gave me this thing, and they said zip. So I got in trouble immediately. He's like, that's going to be about $500 in fines. Yeah. So, who should I write the check out to? I was like, whoa. Let me explain the sitch, okay? So, I'm going to make a couple jokes, but also mostly just saying, I didn't know. First time they fixed it, they put me, no, give me a warning. My dad had just gotten there, so he's walking down with my mom, and I'm sure they'd like, what? We gave him the jet ski for 4 seconds, and he's talking to the police already? What happened? So, I got off with a warning. Didn't get anything, and I now have to go get my freaking boater's license, and it's just crazy. You have to take in a freaking exam scam. All right, I got to take an exam to let people know that I know how to float fast. It's like swim class all over again. And that another thing that I would never go to. Ha! Zinged it again! Guys, contrary to popular belief, which hopefully this should work like every other YouTube comment, if I make fun of it, you guys will all remember I do love sports, okay? So thank you so much for tuning in! Is my voice in? Tuning in? Yeah, it's going. This is why I've been drinking the water, okay? That on top of all the exercise I'm doing, I'm dehydrated. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Not gonna yell. And I appreciate you. I love you. I will contact you again next week, okay, via this podcast, and I will update you on what I've consumed in lively activities over the next 7 days, guys. And that will be fun. That'll be exciting. And then after that, seriously, wish me luck. You don't have to wait until the next episode to be like, hey, good luck right now. No, you can spend from now until the next 7 days, or really anytime if you're watching this in the future, to be like, hey, just by the way, good luck out there, champ. Tussle my hair. I don't care. And that I do good with that friggin', I'm dreading it for real. But I'm also, dude, something about the Band-Aid of ripping of freaking moments, right? It's a Band-Aid moment. Peel it off. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you. I'll see you in the next episode. There's lots of big changes, lots of good things going on, not just about, okay, shirts that I get on the discount rack, all right? There are actual cool things about to be bestowed, all right? Bestowed. All right, over you. And I said all right twice, and I feel bad. But guys, I gotta get out of here. I pee.